In your headlines, curfew lifted in time for Christmas. Private companies donate televisions to hospitals. And Eco Warriors pulls off nationwide cleanup campaign. Hello, Turks and Caicos. Welcome to Newswatch. I'm Latoya Walking, your anchor for Thursday's newscast. Let's get right into it. The Minister of Health says personal responsibility will be the order of the day as he relaxed the strict COVID-19 measures for the Turks and Caicos Islands, including the enforcement of curfew for all residents and tourists alike, headlining Thursday's leading story. Following several meetings with various stakeholders, the Minister of Health has announced the new COVID measures that will be in place for the Turks and Caicos Islands.
Cabinet approved an extension of the existing COVID-19 measures and protocols, which will come into effect 5 a.m. on Wednesday, December 1st, unless otherwise stated, and will remain in place until February 28, 2022.
Honorable Robinson announced an 80% holding capacity for the following categories across the region. However, guidelines are still in place if events will exceed over 100 attendees.
Churches, religious events, and funerals will be allowed to increase their capacity to 80% of their normal capacity, both indoors and outdoors. Number 2, restaurants, bars, nightclubs, and discotheques will be allowed to increase their occupancy to 80% of their normal capacity, as well as we're rescinding the weekly reporting requirements to the Ministry of Health. Number 3, public, private, social gatherings, including functions at hotels, villas, tourism accommodations, and wedding receptions attended by 100+ persons, continue to require written permission from the Ministry of Health, with a maximum of 500 persons now.
Perhaps what most business owners and residents wanted to hear was the lifting of the 1 a.m., 5 a.m. curfew that was enforced earlier this year as a strict measure to contain the spread of the deadly virus.
Taxi operators will be allowed to carry up to 10 guests, subject to health protocols being followed, and there being no more than 2 separate families on board. And last but not least, curfew to be lifted as of December 1st, 2021.
A press conference was held at the Cheshire Hall Medical Center on Monday, November 8th, to announce the donation of televisions and recognize the various sponsors. The highlights in this next story. Patients can soon view their favorite TV shows and movies in high definition following the purchase of 27 smart televisions by a group of private companies for installation across every inpatient room at the Cheshire Hall and Coburn Town Medical Center. This initiative is part of a project called Just Like Home. Dr. Denise Bradway, Tennant, Chief Executive Officer at InterHealth Canada, had this to say concerning the donation.
When Miss Rose Mary Jolly and Stacy Cox said to me, Dr. Brathwaite, how many TVs do you want? So I told them. They said, we're going to make this happen. I had other senior managers on the call with me. We were like goosebumps. What? Someone is going to make this happen for us? And they did. And this is where we stand today. Now, others may think this is something small, but it is not. To our patients, this is going to be something big for them, especially during this pandemic. Because on those televisions, we can not only stream the entertainment that they like, but we can stream our disaster releases, patient information, so many things we can do for them. And so on behalf of the senior management team of InterHealth Canada as well, and our valued patients and families, I personally and all of us would like to thank you very, very much for what you have done.
TCI Hospital Community Advisory Committee members Stacy Cox and Rosemary Jolly steered the plea for sponsors.
This project was dear to me as well because I too have spent some time 24 hours in this facility with no Wi-Fi and no television. So I can imagine how individuals would feel spending, like Kino said, an average of 3 to 4 days hospitalized without internet or television. So for that, it resonates with me, and I'm grateful to be a part of this. And I appreciate your support and your push for this as well. Every several weeks, Dr. Brathwaite is in my WhatsApp. Any word yet? Any word yet? And the most I can say is soon come. So it's a pleasure to be on the Council of Advisory Committee and to set projects like this and know that this is the first of many more to come.
I always say I have a passion for 5 groups of people: the less fortunate, the vulnerable, the sick, the elderly, and the children. And so when the opportunity came in one of our CAC meetings for the Just Like Home initiative, I was just so excited to, as Stacy say, what can we do? How can we get this done? And so we started the ball rolling right away. And so I am so happy to give back to one of my most passionate group of people, the sick. When you're in the hospital and you're watching the 4 walls and you're thinking, what can I do to, pass away the time? These beautiful televisions is what's gonna help to do that. And so on the behalf of my company, Royal West Indies Resort, RWI Management, I am pleased that we were able to contribute to this initiative. And as always, we're happy to do anything when it comes to our most passionate groups of people.
The installation of the televisions will continue over several weeks as more inpatient rooms become vacant and accessible to IT technicians based on the flow of patient admissions and discharges. The hospital also recently introduced free Wi-Fi for all building users and wall charging stations for devices in the emergency and outpatient department waiting reception areas. Honorable Jamel Robinson, Minister of Health and Human Services, thanked all the corporate sponsors who participated in the project. A quick break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Newswatch.
This is a reminder that all PTV service accounts are due on the first day of each month. Accounts should be brought up to date by the 28th of the month to avoid disruption in service. Payments may be made on our office at Stubbs Diamond Plaza, Providenciales, Mides Plaza, North Caicos, and Airport Road in South Caicos. Payments may also be made online using Scotiabank, CIBC First Caribbean Bank, and Royal Bank of Canada. Please allow 3 business days for online payments to be processed. We thank you for your cooperation.
Welcome back to Newswatch. Investigations are ongoing after a firearm and ammunition was recovered from a 45-year-old man who is currently in police custody, and an investigation into a suspicious death. Your crime run-up in this next story. A 45-year-old man is facing charges of possession of firearm, possession of ammunition, dangerous driving, and driving under the influence of alcohol concentration over the prescribed limit. After officers of the Response and Operations Unit were called to an apartment complex along Reese Street, 5 Keys, Providenciales, on Sunday, November 7th at 12:40 a.m. following a report to the police control room that assistance was needed in relation to a firearm incident. Police say the 45-year-old man was trying to leave the scene when they arrived. Officers gave chase to a gray Suzuki Swift with no license plate onto the South Dock Road before successfully intercepting the vehicle. During the vehicle search, a black firearm with 4 rounds of ammunition was found and taken by the Forensic Support Unit for processing. Further investigation revealed a single round of ammunition on the 45-year-old suspect. Officers later executed an authority to search for firearms and ammunition at the home of the 45-year-old man, and an additional magazine with 6 rounds of ammunition was recovered. Also in your crime roundup, officers of the Royal Turks and Caicos Islands Police Force are investigating a suspicious death in Dockyard Providenciales after a body of a man was found at a residence on Sunday, November 7th, around 8:59 a.m. According to the police control room, officers of the Criminal Investigations Department were dispatched to an apartment after reports to 911. The Forensic Support Unit also attended the scene. An investigation is ongoing.
The identity of the man has not been released as police investigate the sudden death of the individual who was found lying face up on the pavement behind the CarQuest building. This picture shows an examiner looking about the individual's body lying motionless on the pavement behind the building. Police have yet to release any information on the man's identity, how long he was deceased, or how and exactly when his body was discovered. However, Newswatch has been told that there were, at the time, no visible signs of foul play and that he may have died of natural causes. Newswatch will have more as information becomes available.
We'll take a quick break now. More Newswatch when we return.
This is a reminder that all PTV service accounts are due on the first day of each month. Accounts should be brought up to date by the 28th of the month to avoid disruption in service. Payments may be made on our office at Stubbs Diamond Plaza, Providenciales, Mides Plaza, North Caicos, and Airport Road in South Caicos. Payments may also be made online using Scotiabank, CIBC First Caribbean Bank, and Royal Bank of Canada. Please allow 3 business days for online payments to be processed. We thank you for your cooperation.
Mixed weather patterns across the Turks and Caicos Islands. Here's your weather forecast for Friday, November 12, 2021. Starting in the nation's capital, sunshine and mixed clouds, high 84, low 79, winds east-southeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. South Caicos on Friday, partly cloudy skies, high 84, low 79, winds east-southeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. North and Middle Caicos on Friday, partly cloudy skies, high 84, low 79, winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Parrot and Pine Key on Friday, sunshine and mixed clouds, high 84, low 79, winds east-southeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. And on Providenciales on Friday, sunshine and mixed clouds, high 84, low 79, winds east-southeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. And time now for your sunrise and sunset. Sunrise at 6 a.m., sunset at 5:09 p.m. And for your high tides and low tides, high tides 1:47 a.m. to 12 p.m. For your low tides, 7:54 a.m., 8:37 p.m. Time now for your hurricane outlook. For the North Atlantic, Caribbean Sea and the Gulf of Mexico, tropical cyclone formation is not expected during the next 5 days. And that's it for your weather forecast and hurricane outlook. We'll be right back with more Newswatch.
Here at People's Television, we're more than just your leading news and entertainment services. We are spreading the gospel.
We are breaking barriers.
We are preserving the culture. Each one, teach one.
We are committed to excellence.
We're creating change.
We are creating memories.
We are the future.
I am PTV.
I am PTV. I am PTV.
I am PTV.
We are PTV.
We are continuing the legacy. We are PTV.
Welcome back to Newswatch. Engaging young people in keeping their communities clean. Eco Warriors, an environment youth group, recently took to the streets in a nationwide cleanup campaign. Take a look.
The goal of the campaign was to engage young people in efforts to protect the environment and encourage environmental education. The campaign was dubbed a success as the H.J. Robinson High School in Grand Turk collected 70 bags. Raymond Gardner High in North Caicos collected 63 bags, and the Louis Garland High in Providence Jollies collected 23 bags. The kids were out being Eco Warriors on October 30th. Mr. Louis Serpas, who is currently a marine biology major at the TCI Community College and president of the Eco Warriors, says the future of these islands lie in the hands of the youth, and they must be educated on the immensity of taking care of the earth, because there is no future without an earth. The overall goal of Eco Warriors is to focus on Sustainable Development Goal 13 with an emphasis on environmental sustainability and climate action. Honorable Rachel Taylor, Minister of Youth Affairs, offered up some comments on the youth's commendable efforts. She notes that it is essential to instill in young people the importance of community service. And through the Department of Youth Affairs, the current youth policy encourages youth-led initiatives like these, which aim to create awareness on climate change and environmental sustainability. She thanked all of the stakeholders who played an instrumental role, building partnerships to ensure that the islands remain beautiful by nature. This environmental movement will now be an annual effort to educate youths of the islands. Eco Warriors, which is led by Louis Serpas and Jeffrey Nicholas, hosts weekly cleanup campaigns on Providence Jollies in collaboration with Rotaract. Should you want to volunteer or start a weekly cleanup movement on your island, you can simply reach out to the organization and just get started. For PTV Newswatch, I'm Delana Isles.
This concludes today's edition of Newswatch. Remember, you can visit our website at www.ptvatci.com or join us every weekday at 6:30 p.m. I'm Latoya Walken. Until next time.